As communities expand and technologies improve, governments around the world are embarking on some of the most mind-blowing construction projects ever conceived. One thing is certain about these initiatives: they're tremendously expensive. Whether they're intended to enhance travel connections, enhance citizen living circumstances, or advance scientific research, the most expensive large-scale projects in the world range from airports to entire cities or districts. Today, let's see some of the most expensive mega projects no one talks about. Before that, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get notified. Number 1. The Interstate Highway System. Inflation-adjusted cost $459 billion. Cost in 2006 $425 billion. The Dwight D. Eisenhower National System of Interstate and Defense Highways, generally known as the Interstate Highway System, is an American network of controlled access highways that's part of the country's larger national highway network. Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and Alaska are all served by the network, which stretches throughout the entire continent of the U.S. In the United States, the 48,756-mile interstate highway system carried a quarter of all vehicle miles in 2020. The Interstate Highway Infrastructure, officially known as the National System of Interstate and Defense Highways, was built in the 1950s in response to a strong public demand for a better road system. In 1954, President Dwight Eisenhower created the Clay Committee in response to these worries. According to the theory of the interstate system, all states are classified according to their relationships with other states or their involvement in the global economy. Divisions between states also contribute to the categorization of the globe into a core, periphery, and semi-periphery. 2. KASHAGAN Fields. Cost $116 billion. The largest oil discovery in the previous 40 years occurred at the KASHAGAN Fields, a sizable shallow-water oil field in the North Caspian Sea, some 80 kilometers off Atyrau, Kazakhstan. Commercial production there began in September 2013, 80 kilometers or so from Kazakhstan's Atyrau. The building involves creating man-made islands in the sea that has been frozen for a long time. The project's construction has been delayed due to pipe leaks and other issues, and because the fields are under so much pressure, drilling into them is extremely risky. It is anticipated that the operation will begin in 2017 and generate more than 90,000 barrels of oil per day. Impacts China National Petroleum, others, national company KASMUNAI Gas, Eni, ExxonMobil, Shell, and Total Energies are the owners of the field. Peak production is anticipated in 2025, and the KASHAGAN conventional oil field recovered 11.36% of its total recoverable reserves. 3. King Abdullah Economic City. Inflation-adjusted cost $95 billion. Cost in 2005 $86 billion. Only 15% of the Saudi Arabian city's construction was done in 2015, despite the fact that it was scheduled to be finished in 2020. The metropolis, which bears King Abdullah's name, will have 2 million inhabitants and be a little bigger than Washington, D.C. The city, which is over an hour's drive from Mecca, is slated to grow as a new tourist destination for Saudi Arabia and will feature upscale lodging, opulent estates, esteemed academic institutions, and a sizable airport. In order to diversify the economics of the area, it'll also be home to residential areas. The building is being constructed by MR Properties, a real estate company best known for constructing Dubai's Burj Khalifa, the highest structure in the world. 4. Songdo International Business District. Cost $40 billion. The Songdo International Business District has more than 1,500 acres, is a planned central business district in Seoul, South Korea, that's being built on reclaimed land. It'll contain a replica of Central Park. The business district will be completed by 2020. It is one of the largest private development projects in the world. It's also the first project of its kind in South Korea to incorporate LEED, or Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design standards, from the US, and it's one of the most expensive development projects ever done. This 10-year endeavor is expected to cost more than $40 billion. Green Building Council, the Songdo IBD, is currently about one-third complete. 5. KANSAI International Airport. Inflation-adjusted cost $29 billion. Cost in 1994 $20 billion. Located in Osaka, Japan's second-largest city, is the Kansai International Airport, which cost $29 billion to make. Planning for the new airport commenced in the 1960s when city officials became concerned about losing trade to Tokyo. It was built in the water, resting on a man-made island in order to resist earthquakes, tidal waves, and noise complaints. The airport was built to resist these kinds of freak accidents and has withstood both typhoons and earthquakes successfully since it was built. Part of the price tag went towards metal support columns and other structural pieces in order to prevent it from sinking. A second terminal was added in 2012 and is connected via free shuttle to Terminal 1. 6. Hong Kong International Airport. Inflation-adjusted cost $27 billion. Cost in 1998, $20 billion. The airport is both one of the busiest passenger airports and the busiest cargo gateway in the entire globe. It also has one of the biggest passenger terminal structures in the entire globe, the largest when opened in 1998. In 2011, 53,314,213 passengers went through the airport. It employs about 60,000 people. Hong Kong International Airport was constructed on a sizable artificial island that was created by flattening and leveling Chek Lap Kok and Lam Chau Islands, 9.38 square kilometers of adjacent seabed, respectively, and their respective islands of 3.02 square kilometers and 0.08 square kilometers in size. With its reclamation, the 12.48 square kilometer airport site increased Hong Kong's total surface area by over 1%, linking to the north side of Lantau Island close to Tongcheng New Town. 7. Beijing-Shanghai High-Speed Railway. Inflation-adjusted cost $26.1 billion. Cost in 2008, $25.8 billion. The 1,318-kilometer railway connects two of China's biggest cities, is the longest high-speed railway ever to be constructed in a single project, and is the longest in the world. Trains go upward of 200 miles per hour, meaning you can go from one city to another in 4 hours, 48 minutes. The Beijing-Shanghai High-Speed Railway, also known as the Jinghu High-Speed Train after its name in Mandarin, connects the Yangtze River Delta and the Bohai Economic Rim, two of the People's Republic of China's most important economic regions. The line was opened to the public for commercial operation on June 30, 2011, following the start of construction on April 18, 2008. In 2019, the route carried more people than the combined annual traffic of the TGV or Intercity Express networks, making it one of the busiest high-speed railways in the world. 8. Big Dig. Inflation-adjusted cost $23.1 billion. Cost in 2007, $22 billion. The Big Dig, also known as the Central Artery Tunnel Project or CAT, in Boston rerouted Interstate 90, the chief highway through the heart of the city. It's the most costly highway project in the U.S., which was beset with cost overruns, delays, leaks, design faults, accusation of poor execution, and the use of subpar materials, criminal arrests, and one auto accident fatality. The project's original completion date was set for 1998, when it was expected to cost $2.8 billion. In 1982 currency, or $7.4 billion after accounting for inflation as of 2020. Nevertheless, the project was finished in December 2007 for a price of more than $8.08 billion. In 1982 dollars, $21.5 billion after inflation, indicating a cost overrun of around 190%. It was completed 10 years later, and because of design flaws and leaks, the builder had to pay $407 million in restitution. It won't be paid off until 2038. 9. TOEI OEDO Line. Inflation-adjusted cost $23 billion. Cost in 2000, $18.4 billion. The TOEI OEDO subway line was Tokyo's first linear motor metro line, meaning it could carry smaller passenger cars. The line passes through central Tokyo at a depth of up to 48 meters below Earth, with 3 Sumida River tunnels included. Its construction took approximately 10 years longer than originally anticipated and cost an estimated total of between 988.6 billion and over 1,400 billion yen, making it the most costly subway line ever built. The initial budget for the project was 682.6 billion yen over 6 years. However, Yokohama's Minato-Mira line was much more expensive when calculated per kilometer. On December 12, 2000, it began full operations. This was written as 12-12-12 in the Japanese calendar because 2000 is Heisei 12 in that country. 10. Jubail 2, Saudi Arabia. Cost $11 billion. Saudi Arabia's Jubail 2 is an industrial city project that has been in the works over 22 years. Dubbed the world's largest civil engineering project, it began its second phase in 2014 at a cost of $11 billion. When complete, currently slated for some time in 2024, Jubail 2 will include 100 industrial plants, miles of railways, highways, and roads. An 800,000 cubic meter water desalination plant, one of the world's largest, and an oil refinery capable of producing 350,000 barrels per day. In peak construction season, more than 20,000 construction workers on site at any given time. Jubail Industrial City, which was built more than 3 decades ago, which doubled its size when completed in 2016. Jubail Industrial 2 construction was a multi-million-dollar industrial city aiming to create social benefits and to strengthen the petrochemical industry. This project doubled the size of the Jubail Industrial City by 6,200 hectares. And that's all for today. Did you know any of these existed? Share your opinion about these expensive mega projects in the comment below. And also, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more such interesting videos.